So we're going to continue reacting to this MYRON GAINES debate at the University of Chicago, or Michigan. So let's get into it.
No, I'm not trans though.
No, not you. I'm talking about the other guy or girl or whatever that thing was. But anyway, what's your question or debate topic?
All right, bro. I'm gonna need your best professional, political, analytical, mindset on this, bro. All right. You promise you that?
This guy smoked the fucking blunt before getting on here.
Nah, bro.
Holy shit, this guy's
All
cooked.
right.
Bro has sunglasses on at night, man.
All right, chill. All right. You're 1 inch in an ICE officer, and an ICE officer is 1 inch in you. Which way are you moving? And you can't say neither, or else your whole fucking family is deported.
What is a one? He's 1 inching?
No. You're 1 inch into an ICE officer, and an ICE officer is 1 inch into you. Is the scenario?
What the hell is this guy talking about?
What?
Like you're fucking, bro.
Yeah, let's go to the next person. Next person.
That dude's stupid.
Whole family's deported, yo.
Guys, let's try to have above 50 IQ conversations, please. No more high or drunk people. Hi, what's up?
Hi. I want to ask, do you know the basic debate structure? And you know what a debate is?
Sure. What do you want to? What's your point here?
Okay. Then here, I want you to explain your point for ICE did nothing wrong. Explain your reasoning.
Overall, or were we talking about good specifically?
I would talk about good specifically because I actually want to have a dialogue.
Okay. She was there impeding a ICE operation, which is illegal. Officers came up to her, gave her a lawful command to step out the car. She disobeyed, backed up the car. One of the ICE officers drew their gun. They gave more lawful commands. She drove towards him. Whether she moved her wheel in a certain way and didn't try to hit him or not isn't really relevant. What is relevant is that she drove the car towards him, which can be interpreted as utilizing deadly force. He reciprocated in self-defense with deadly force, and he stopped the threat.
She looked like she about to cry over some facts.
Fair enough. Okay, so can we agree that ICE follows under the DOJ projects as a law enforcement?
No, because they're under the Department of Homeland Security, but they follow the Constitution when it comes to, use of force.
Yes. But did you know that the Department of Homeland Security actually follows the same legal precedents of DOJ, specifically when it comes to actually enforcing their laws?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So what's your...
My point is...
Because policy and law are two different things, so that's why I want to make sure...
Yeah. So, I prepared something because I may not be a former policeman, but I'm training to be a lawyer. So how about this?
He was a part of Homeland Security, so she's training, but he has the experience.
How about this? So can we agree that ICE agents generally have to follow the law and the Constitution?
Yep.
Okay, so we want to specifically follow under, say, ICE was started through the Immigration and Nationality Act, true?
No, they're started with the Department of Homeland Security Act, 2003.
Yeah.
But they enforced the INA.
Yeah, exactly. They were basically supported through the INA.
They enforced the INA.
They were actually...
And for those of you that are wondering, Immigration Nationality Act, this is what she's referring to.
Yep. And, let's say this. How about this? Under the NIA, in section 1357, powers of immigration officers and employees, subsection G1 states that an immigration officer must carry out such function to the extent consistent with state and local law. True?
Say that again?
This is a direct quote. Immigration officers must carry out such function to the extent consistent with state and local law. That is a direct quote from the law.
Well, again, that's open to interpretation based on certain facts and circumstances. But what is your conclusion here then?
Okay, so here, let's keep going down. So basically, we're following that the legal precedent when it comes to murder and specifically police force use of a deadly weapon follows ICE, correct?
Well, it follows the law.
Yeah, and ICE is under the law.
Yep, so what's your...
Okay, so perfect. So I want to specifically talk about how when it is available or when it is all right to use deadly harm when it's, say, for a police officer, for example, because it's the same thing. And again, you would know this. So
Okay, go ahead.
She's being a terrible lawyer. She might need to reconsider her major.
main thing is that a police officer is only able to use deadly force when they are reasonably in danger. True? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
So here, let's go specifically. Title 1, Section 16.2 of the Justice Manual, which follows the DOJ, again, this DOJ, and also it follows state, local, and federal law, is said that a law enforcer is not permitted to use deadly force unless the enforcer has reasonable belief that the suspect poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury. True?
Yep.
Okay, so the conditions of that, of what they have to prove, isn't just what they think. We can't just go truly by this, but the specific law indicates that one of the limits is deadly force may not be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect, including in a moving vehicle.
Yep.
So we agree, he did not shoot the gun to stop the car. You say that?
No, he
shot
shot
her.
because she was using the car as a weapon.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the difference.
He shot to
Okay,
stop
but
her.
specifically using...
Two crimes can be committed at the same time.
Yes.
So the car has a dual purpose because it's not just, it's being used to escape while simultaneously also being used as a weapon. Since it got used as a weapon, that's what justified him using deadly force. Now, here's the thing you got to understand, because I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to go on a technicality, whatever. Let's make this very simple for the audience.
Well, because facts don't care about your feelings, apparently.
Well, I'm going to give you right now. I'm going to give you the facts. You mentioned imminency. The car was coming at him. Imminent danger. Deadly weapon. He has his gun. Car versus gun. Proportionate. Another part of it as well. Also, law enforcement officers don't have a duty to retreat, according to the state, like the state of Minnesota mandates for other situations. Law enforcement a lot of times actually has to escalate to go ahead and be able to do their job appropriately. So again, they gave her lawful commands. He had his gun out. She drove towards him. A reasonable person, because that's what he's going to be judged on, not 20/20 hindsight like you're trying to do right now. A reasonable person would see a car coming at them after they've been told to stop and get out. That, oh, not only is she trying to run away, she's trying to run me over, which she actually did do, and he did get hit in the process, but he was able to move out the way while simultaneously shooting and defending himself. This is very simple, open shut, self-defense. The car is a deadly weapon, whether you want to accept it or not. It is what it is. The real reason, though, why everyone is bitching is because it was a woman, right? And people say, oh my God, he killed an innocent woman. But the reality is she was committing a crime. She committed a felony, and she tried to run him over in the process. And the car was a deadly weapon.
Yes, and I can see that. Again, I'm not here to talk specifically about the legality of Renee Good. And
That's what I'm arguing. What are you arguing then? I thought we were talking about facts, not feelings.
I'm talking about Jonathan Ross's action, who is the officer that shot her.
Okay. He was
Yes.
justified.
No, actually, because again, according to the DOJ, which has been admitted and thoroughly reviewed by this presidency and the federal bureaucracy, so it's still by their law, is specifically firearms may not be discharged solely to disable moving vehicles, true, but a person in the vehicle is threatening the officer or another person with deadly force by means other than the vehicle. And the specific goes, or the vehicle is operated in a manner that threatens to cause death. Is that true? Okay.
The vehicle is being operated in a manner to cause damage or death, yes.
Okay.
So that
Have you watched the
justifies
videos?
him. A car is looked at as a deadly weapon.
Have you watched the videos, specifically of Jonathan Ross's phone?
Yes, I saw him get hit. You can literally hear the wind get knocked out of him when he gets hit. He's surprised when she drives.
Did you see what happened before?
He was walking around recording the car.
Yes. No, and in that video, you can see Renee Nicole Good say, I am not mad at you, smiling with her right hand on the wheel
being
and
sarcastic.
her left hand out.
She was being sarcastic.
fuck,
Anyone with
bro?
half a brain knows that she was being
But it's
sarcastic.
still, they don't know, again,
Bro, she literally has no point.
to be reasonable, you want to say this. Again, it was clear that her hands were in view. It's clear she didn't have a weapon readily available to her that she could instantly grab.
What part of the car is the weapon do you not understand?
No, because here, I'm going to get to that. Because the thing is about a moving vehicle, there has to be a reasonable obstruction of being able to move out of the way in a defensive manner. That is actually another subsection of when you can use, you say, self-defense. So there had to be a manner in which...
Police don't have a duty to retreat.
No, they have a duty to protect themselves, actually.
And they don't have a duty to retreat. They don't have a... See, this is what you're not getting. It's funny that you're mentioning the DOJ and you're mentioning how he allegedly broke laws of the DOJ. If that's the case, why isn't the AUSA's office prosecuted him? This would be a slam dunk for them, right? This would be awesome. Let's go ahead and go after a federal agent.
They're working on it right now, actually.
No, he's not going to get indicted. As a matter of fact, a bunch of AUSAs resigned because they're progressives and they're mad that he's not going to get charged.
Okay.
So you're wrong once again. Anybody else?
No, I'm not wrong, actually, because I haven't gotten to there. No.
She got cooked all over the place.
Finish? Okay, so it's specifically, again, the moving out of danger. If you see the video, he has about 2 to 3 space from where the car is, where he is, and where the road is. So there's a reasonable doubt that he was able to go back and actually move out of the way. So he has the ability to defend himself, and he specifically stayed in the way of the
still
car.
going by 20/20
which,
hindsight.
again, you can see for 2 straight seconds, you can see her start to move and turn the wheel to the right. Stop. She backs up. First, away from him, he steps forward. You can see 2 seconds, 2 whole seconds of her fully turning the wheel away from him, and then she moves. There is an incredible amount of evidence.
Either way, she's still breaking law. They gave her a lawful order to get out the car, and she didn't. Like, still don't understand her point. No matter what, the lady's still breaking the law.
That he has saw it because of the video, so he has he has reason to see that she wasn't planning on hitting him because she was literally moving out of the way. So I'm saying his use of deadly force was not self-defense. It was truly a case of just, for me, idiocracy.
And this is why women should never be in positions of power. Holy shit. See, because here's the thing that she doesn't understand. He's not going to sit there, right?
Also,
like this is what you need to get, right? Like, as someone who's worked in law enforcement, anyone that's been military, law enforcement, anyone that understands using firearms and self-defense and using deadly force, he's not going to sit there and be like, okay, she turned the wheel 7 degrees to the right here. It probably
wasn't
won't hit
7,
me.
it was a
Let me
full
go ahead.
180.
Let me go ahead and just, like, get out the way this much and I won't, like, no. They gave her a lawful command. She didn't comply. She backs up the car.
Watch the video.
She backs up the car. They still are giving her lawful commands. Gun is out. A reasonable person at that point would be like, okay, she's going to stop. No, she guns it towards him. Now, I see what you're saying. She spun the wheel this way. She might have not been intending to hit him. That doesn't matter. What matters is, did he behave reasonably given the facts and circumstances when he pulled that trigger? And a lot of people put in that situation would probably pull the trigger. That's what determines the reasonableness. I guarantee if you were in that situation and you were in front of her like that and you gave her lawful commands and you had the gun out and she started going at you, you'd fucking shoot. And
I wouldn't use a deadly force. I would use other ways.
More than men do.
Or
There
at
are no
least you
other
shoot
ways.
the car.
There are
You
no other
wouldn't
ways.
shoot her. You'd shoot the tire to stop her.
What the fuck is she talking about?
Again, there's a way to do it. And also, again, I don't even know why I debated you, because if you don't view me as a human being, then you know what? I hope you get no pussy for the rest of your life, and I bet your dick is a carrot.
Yeah.
God bless. Fuck you.
This is why we gotta keep these women in the kitchen. This is why they gotta be in the kitchen. Ridiculous. See, like, she's arguing on feelings, and she doesn't understand that reasonableness is not based on 20/20 hindsight like she was trying to do, talking about the wheel, whatever. And here's another thing too also that people need to understand. If you're in front of a car, can you see how fucking far the wheel turned? A lot of times you can't see the wheel well. So, like, all you see is just the car going like this if you're standing directly in front of it. So people are crazy, dude. People are crazy. If anybody hires her as a lawyer, you're cooked, bro. You're gonna go to jail. Just take the plea deal, man. Just bro, you just take the plea deal, man. All right, what's up?
I'm just asking for your opinion on the Israel versus Palestine conflict.
Okay. Israel is a pariah state. We need to stop giving them aid and support. Zionism has created a lot of problems. I don't want any more foreign wars. We're in the brink right now, potentially getting into a conflict with Iran because of Israel. And Jews have too much power in America.
Thank you.
No worries.
Yo, what up, Myron?
Yo.
All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I just got out of class a second ago, so I kind of want to revisit something I heard you were talking about. You were, I believe you were talking about if the degree that being fat is a choice.
Being fat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking about that?
Well, I didn't really mention being fat, but I do think being fat is a choice, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now,
A lot of times
I want
it is.
to emphasize I'm a big fan of, like, empirical evidence. You know, I'm a biochemist, sophomore year. I'd like to also say I probably have some qualifications. 4-year, I'd consider myself an advanced lifter. So my question is, to what degree do you think that being fat is a choice? Like percent, let's say.
Well, I mean,
I say 90%.
if
Really.
you decide to order pizza and then put the pizza in your mouth, I would say that's a choice. And then if you choose to do
True.
that over and over, that's a choice. Then if you decide to not exercise after the fact, that's a choice. If you decide to not drink water and drink beer instead, that's a choice. If you decide to not eat vegetables and eat candy instead, that's a choice. So yeah, being a fat ass is completely a choice. It's unacceptable.
All right, so as a baseline, I'm gonna have to agree with you there.
Fair.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there. But I also just kind of wanted you to acknowledge that there can exist other factors, like third variables that have an influence on that, and I'll elaborate. So we have a...
Well, not everybody's going to have the same metabolic capacity. We understand some people have a higher, resting metabolism. But the reality is like, for some people, it might be harder to lose weight, but it's still a choice no matter what.
I agree with that. What I wanted to come here and say though, there is a ton of study on our total daily energy expenditure, right? It's divided into like TAE, which is basically thermodynamic effect when you're eating. Yep. We have EAT, which is your actual exercise, activity thermogenesis. Yep. NEAT, which is like your fidgeting, walking.
Non-exercising, yep.
Yeah, and then we also have our BMI, which is...
BMR, basal metabolic rate, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or BMR, sorry.
BMR, yep.
And we definitely can impact that, but that's lesser to a degree of our choice. But as like fruitful as all of those sciences are in the biomedical field, as valuable as that information is, I think it's equally as scientific and important to recognize other studies like anthropology and one's like socioeconomic status as a bearing onto their ability to like lose some pounds, if you know what I'm saying.
It's true.
Well, here's the thing. If we're going to bring this...
I mean, money does affect whether or not you can eat as healthy or not, but it's still also a choice what you choose to eat,
Economic status, like being poor is a choice too.
To an extent. I think...
Well, yeah, that's true. Being poor, I mean, it kind of just depends on... Well, really, it goes by ambition and IQ, really. That really is what's going to determine your economic status.
A choice.
Everything in this world is black or white, or not everything. I'm in gray area, and I think it's wrong to portray it as either black or white. And there's always extraneous circumstances for any argument you make, and that's why I wanted to highlight the matter of anthropology.
I disagree with that. I think that's a bunch of faggotry. I think if you're I think being poor is absolutely a choice. I know a lot of people make excuses for, I'm black, bro, systemic racism, man, or I'm a woman, I can't get ahead. It's like, no, dude, you in America, if you work really hard, you can absolutely make something of yourself. There's a reason why people immigrate here. There's a reason why this is called the land of opportunity.
I mean, but necessarily for a capitalistic society to exist, right, there always has to be poor people. There's always has to be a less middle income people. That always has to exist in a capitalistic society, because if it was more towards the middle, then I'll be more of a socialist society, which we don't have when we don't want. We want capitalism, so not everybody can succeed unless this was let's just say America took over the world. Then yes, every American person here could necessarily live a high middle class lifestyle, because we're in charge of the world, and then there's more money that can rise to the top, which is going into the American economic system, which means more people have access to all this money and opportunity, But since it's just America, there's always going to be poor people and low middle income people. That's just how capitalism works. So I do disagree with mine with that. Not everybody can do it. I'd say maybe max in America, maybe 40% of people can actually live a mid to high income lifestyle, and everybody else is middle, low, and then poor, because that's just how the society works.
Capitalistic society is set it up where it's a meritocracy-based system, and if you work really hard, you can overcome stuff. I mean, there's plenty of retards that could barely read that are multimillionaires. You know what I mean? So you look at Floyd Mayweather and Kai Cenat. These guys can't even read a page from a can of hat, but they're fucking multimillionaires. They're retards, and they made it. So there's ways. I truly do think being poor is a choice.
All right, now you did list some pretty good anecdotal examples.
Sure.
But as a bottom line, I'd like to also highlight some other third variables. Are you familiar with gerrymandering?
What's that?
So basically, congressmen are responsible for the district lining in states. And the way our voting system works is if a state receives a majority district, let's say, the Republican majority, then all of the state's electoral votes are going to be conceded to the Republicans. That being said, yeah, that's how voting works. We'll get there, bro. Basically, there's two strategies in gerrymandering: packing and cracking. Yeah, cracking. And then packing refers to placing all of someone in a marginalized community, like let's say all your black people of a state, into a particular district. They might win that district over 1 out of the 13, but in the end, they still lose the 12 other districts, and in the end, all of the electoral votes are conceded to their opposition political party, effectively stripping them of their political voice and legitimacy. What's your opinion on that?
Well, whoever's in office doesn't dictate if you're poor or not.
The congressmen definitely have
No.
a bearing on whether or not you stay in some of these gerrymandered districts,
A lot of
because they are
successful people
responsible
don't
for
even
making
know-
the lining.
Yeah, but a lot of successful people don't even know who their congressman is or care.
There's a lot of successful people, that's true, but that doesn't disprove my point. That's anecdotal evidence. That's
Okay.
a counterexample.
What I'm saying is that the people that are in office don't dictate how hard you work. Now, for some
True.
people, that might mean you might need to work harder than others. Some people are naturally gifted, some others aren't. But whoever's in office as your congressman does not, or even your president, like, they're not going to hold you back from success to the same degree that you're going to hold yourself back. I think, and this is a problem, is like we're very comfortable with blaming, external factors that a lot of times are out of our control as to why we're not successful. And that is why we have so many problems that we have. I think people need to bear a bit more accountability and responsibility to themselves, where if you're poor, it's really your choice. That you made bad financial decisions, you didn't learn a skill. You can't blame the government for everything.
Okay, I could understand that to an extent, but that is mostly referring to the people that are of legal age, above 18, that have that sort of proactivity and a locus of control where they can actually enact that change to make their lives better. Correct?
Okay, so now you're saying it's only for adults, like?
I'm getting there. I just wanted to see that you were on the same page. No, that's not what I'm saying though. All right, so picture yourself. You're born. You're a wee little jit, right? You're like 10 years old. Your mom is feeding you off of.
So your argument is you don't think being poor is a choice?
I'm arguing that it's.
You can be born poor. Let me be clear about this. You could be born poor. You could come in from a poor family, but staying poor is absolutely a choice.
That's true.
All right, that can be argued, but I kind of want to focus on the
I grew up
aspect
poor.
of fatness.
I grew up poor. I remember, waking up and trying to get cereal, and there was like cockroaches.
I mean, that's true. Staying poor is an option, but it's not necessarily like always your choice whether or not you're successful or not. It's like you're trying to be successful, but there's no guarantee you're going to be successful. So you're staying poor, even though you don't want to stay poor, and you're doing everything you can not to be poor. So it happens.
A cereal bag. I remember, milk going bad. I remember, like not being able to afford clothes. Like I remember all of that stuff. And, you can only do so much when you're a kid. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But once you become an adult, at some point you have to bear responsibility for your life circumstances. And if you're broke still and you're like in your 20s or you're out of your parents' house, like what are you doing? Like, or if you're not working towards something, you don't have to be rich now, but you can't blame a poor upbringing on poor behavior later on.
Okay, that's fair, but
Let's get to the next person, because I know, completely off topic, and
can I get like 20 seconds max?
this guy.
All right, so when you're a kid, your formative eating habits are mainly dictated by your parents and what they give you. And if you're like 10 years old and you're giving your cereal all these like processed ass foods like cereal and shit like that, that's going to set them up wrong. That's going to be the determining factor of why they're obese later in life. And I agree that that's their choice, but until they're 18, that's realistically and epigenetically a result of their parents' decision onto them. Do you agree with that?
Okay, and then they can change, or they could stay a fat ass.
They can. I agree with that. They do have the propensity to change. They do have the propensity to be a fat ass. But habits are break to change. They're hard to change as human.
True.
Okay, all right.
But Myron's all about accountability and choice.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.
That's good.
Thanks again, Beans. Appreciate you, my friend. And guys, let's focus on disagreements or whatever, or if you guys want to talk ICE or anything else.
What's up, Myron? I appreciate you coming out here. I wanted to ask about your opinion on the capture of Maduro and if it was justified or not.
I'm not a fan of it. There's a bunch of reasons why we did.
Well, justified? No, it's not justified for some other country to fucking fly in and capture a president just because you have an arrest warrant out of New York because supposedly he's drug trafficking drugs into America and throughout Central America and stuff. Like there's no reason why another country should be able to do that and have that right to. That's not like, that doesn't make any sense. So.
But to keep it simple,
But the main reason why we did it is for the oil. Number one. That's the only reason why we did it.
put people to sleep here. I'm not a fan of invading a country, capturing their leader, using a drug trafficking warrant as an excuse to do so, when there's other real reasons why they did it that are have to deal with the economy and reserve currency status, petrodollar, all this other stuff. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of it in general because in the short term, we will benefit, but I think in the long term, this is going to bite us in the ass when it comes to foreign relations and our standing in the international community in a ever-growing multipolar world.
Do you think that's kind of like pushing forward, a regime change in Iran or like a conflict there?
Yeah, I mean, that was a part of the strategy. I know Netanyahu was very happy with the capture of Maduro. Maduro never recognized Israel as a state. He wasn't really a fan of Zionism. He, understood the Palestinians' plight. So yeah, for them, they're like, yeah, get this guy out of here. So they're happy about it. But yeah.
I just had another quick question about Fresh. I was wondering, like, is he a co-host or is he like an example, like on your show?
Oh, he's co-host.
Oh, it's not like an example of like what not to do.
Oh my God. No, man, he's the co-host, bro.
All right, I love you, Martin.
All right, thanks, man.
Hey man,
Bro, just waiting for that, huh? First the homie, man. All right, what's up?
Hey man, how are you? How you doing?
Good. What's up? What's your disagreement?
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just thankful to be here and thankful for the things that you taught me and everything. If you don't know me, I'm MJ. Just saying that my name's MJ. I just want to say thank you for teaching me about politics. Thank you for teaching me about women, how useless women are. Thank you. They really are useless. Thank you for about the gym and everything. And just about the weight that you me and you spoke about on the weight classes and everything. I tried to gain 160 and I just couldn't. Last time I tried to eat a lot. And what happened was I threw up and then my mom beat the shit out of me because I was like,
Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
But
Dude's funny.
but no, man, I appreciate that, bro.
Dude's funny.
Look, I'm not here to get guys to hate women. My job is to get you guys to understand women so that you don't hate them, right? I think one of the biggest mistakes that young men make, and men in general, is they look at women as an equal. And when you look at someone as an equal, you hold them to equal standards of yourself. And when you do that, what ends up happening is you're going to always be disappointed because, unfortunately, women are not looking for an equal, even though they say that they are. They're looking for a superior. This is why women in general overwhelmingly prefer a man that's taller, makes more money, has more status. Like, women are not looking for an equal. They're looking for a leader. So I think if guys go into relationships with that mindset where I have to be the leader, I need to be the superior individual, they won't be as disappointed, won't be as mad. A lot of the frustration that men deal with women comes from them holding them to a masculine burden of performance, and it simply put, that's not what's going to happen when it comes to women. They always reserve the right to get the best guy that they want, so you got to rise up to that occasion. But anything else, bro? And then we'll go to the next person, just because I want.
this is one thing. That's it. This is one thing. That's it. Just thank you for helping me not being a simp again. I was a simp before. I was a simp before, but since watching you and everything,
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm glad I was able to help. And don't worry, we'll take pictures after. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I met you earlier.
Good to see you again, yeah. I remember. You're the only nigga here, bro, so I knew what time it was right away.
Okay, my question is...
It's like me and you only. Are there anybody? Yeah, it's just us.
Dang, it is just us. Okay,
Yeah.
my question is, why do you tell men that they should sleep with 50 women before settling down, even though that shows that it reports lower long-term marital satisfaction and it weakens your ability to pair bond if you sleep with 50 women?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So that is a part of a 5-part thing that I say. So I think for men, right, in today's day and age, number one, I don't think marriage is set up for men to win. I think it's a losing deal for a majority of men, unfortunately. So if guys do want to get married, I always say you should have 5 things in place. 1, make 6 figures per year, at least, so that you can actually have a family. Number 2, have 6 months to 1 year of savings. Number 3, be in shape. Number 4, be 35 years old. Actually, a new study just came out saying men that are 35 and older when they get married have longer lasting marriages. Recently just came out. And then the 5th one is 50 women. Now, the reason why I tell guys to have 50 women isn't so that you could be a whore and just run around. It's so that you can kind of knock the luster off of females. The problem is that a lot of guys pedestalize women and sexuality from women, and they'll do stupid shit to get said sexuality. So I just want guys to be in a position where sex isn't novel to them, where they're doing stupid stuff and going, jumping through hoops to get it. Because a lot of guys will simp and put themselves in extremely compromising situations and be with women that have glaring red flags and overlook these red flags because of their dick. So I just don't want guys to be controlled by their dick. And typically, the more women that you've dealt with, the more you're able to notice red flags, the more you're able to not pedestalize them, the more you're able to understand how they really move. And that's really what it comes down to. So I just want guys to go in to a marriage, if they do decide to do it, from a position where your wife can't tell you some dumb shit like go take out the trash or else you're not going to get any sex. And then your dumb ass like, okay, I will. Like, you need to get into a point where you have the wherewithal to know how to deal with her properly. And I would say if you have those 5 things in place, 100K per year, if not more, 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in shape, 35 years old, 50 women, you're going to be a higher level guy where a lot of women will submit to you, because women can only submit to men that they feel are superior to them. Now, this is an ugly truth that none of them want to admit, right? And obviously academia will never want you guys to hear this because it's considered misogynistic and fucked up. But these are the ugly realities about female nature and the mating practice. It's just that we've modernized so much that we don't like to tell these ugly truths because we want women to not feel bad. But this is the truth.
A lot more sense than I thought it was gonna make. I also want to know, why are you anti-monogamy?
It's not that I'm anti-monogamy, I'm anti-men not making choices. So most guys are monogamous by choice. Now, let's say you're a religious guy.
I mean, that's true. That's pretty factual, you know. I mean, it's also from the past society to where men were virgins and women were virgins and they got married at a young age to have kids. But nowadays, it's like, you don't really get that anymore. So, like, what's really the point of being in a monogamous marriage if everybody's promiscuous? And yeah.
You know, you figured out women, you got your money together, whatever, and you say, you know what, I'm with this woman, I want to be monogamous to her. This is my choice. Fine, I'm cool with that. My problem is when guys come in, happy wife, happy life, I'm here with the old ball and chain, like, yeah, I gotta do what she says, she's the boss. Like, that's a bunch of faggotry. Like, anyone that does that shit is literally a cuck. It should always be your woman follows you, you call things, and you always reserve the right to, if you want to get other chicks, you can. Now, if guys want to be monogamous, cool, that's fine. But here's the ugliest thing that most people will not tell you about women. Women only respect men that can replace them. It's always been that way. They find men attractive that have status and have other women. Matter, we're here on the college campus, right? Who gets all the bitches, guys? The athletes and the frat boys, probably, right? Well, you guys get the dudes, maybe, the weirdos in the alley somewhere, but I would say like the heterosexual men that get all the women are athletes and the frat guys. And the reason why is because they have status on campus and other women want them. Here's another controversial take. Women are stupid, okay? And they can't make their own mating decisions. And I'll explain what I mean by this. And this kind of answers this question too from before when I talk about women making their decisions. When women make mating selections, it's heavily based on other factors that don't have to do with what she actually thinks. I'll explain. If a guy walks into a room by himself, okay, it's a dude. If a dude walks into a room with one girl, oh, he has a girlfriend. If a dude walks in with 2 girls, 3 girls, etc., now I want to get to know this guy. What's going on here? What's the story? And the fact that he has these women around him is what's called pre-selection and increases his status. Now, he's going to be more attractive to that woman because she sees other women there. Now, here's the difference. Men, we're not like that. If we see a hot bitch or even an ugly bitch, right? We don't need to ask our friend, hey, do you think she's hot? No, some of you guys might take the fat bitch, the whale, and go out the back door and not let anybody see you. But women don't operate that way. For them, they need social proof that you're worthy. So their sexual decisions and their mating decisions are heavily influenced by society. Meanwhile, for us, we don't need that. If we like the girl, we like the girl. So that's another thing to play and why it's so important for guys to understand this stuff.
Okay, you said women are.
True. I mean, I kind of basically agree with everything Myron said about, really like sexual dynamics and stuff between men and women. Like, it's been like that since the beginning of time. Men of status and the money get most of the women, and all the women like all the guys with status, power, money, influence. Like, that's normal. It's not really taboo because like it's a fact, So, I mean.
Do you not think that there's kind of a reach, like a little bit of a reach, or do you actually think that all women are stupid? Or are you saying most women are stupid? Like
a majority of women are retarded.
Okay. You think a majority of men are not retarded, or we're smart?
A majority of men are retarded too, but the difference is, here's the thing. Here's the difference. Men that are retarded are penalized for it. Women that are retarded are not.
So you think people in general are usually retarded?
They are, but women don't pay the consequence for being retarded.
Okay, that's actually kind of a fair point. Okay.
Yeah, like.
All right. Thank you, Myron.
No worries. Yeah, bro. There's like you could have 50 IQ as a bitch and get like a multimillionaire. If you got a 50 IQ as a guy, you're cooked, bro. Like,
Did you say having kids too late is making people autistic?
Hello.
Yeah, what's
so my question's about your media presence in general.
My media presence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty clear, like with events like this and on Instagram and your podcast, you've got people in line telling people, you got your workers in line telling people to like ask controversial questions. It's pretty clear that you're trying to like respond with controversial topics and get a lot of views from this.
I didn't even know that somebody's saying ask controversial. That's not us.
But my question is, when you're spreading these things, it's fine for you to have a business like that, but do you, first of all, do you think that events like this, spreading misinformation, actually has a real world effect?
Okay, what misinformation?
I was about to say
like,
that too.
for example, that you're a Holocaust denier.
Damn.
And you wear those shirts that say, let them cook. Like, you're promoting anti-Semitic propaganda, neo-Nazi propaganda. Like, that has real world effects.
Okay.
Do you care about that at all?
There is some promotion of
And
anti-Semitism
if you
there.
don't, why?
Wearing that.
Okay, so
There
number
is.
one, boom. And then number two, when it comes to the Holocaust, here's the thing, and I've been very explicit about this, but I'll say it again. I don't deny the Holocaust. I just don't believe the official narrative that they presented.
The 6 million.
Yeah, I don't believe
But
that.
it's one of the most documented events in history. You can actually do your own research and find that it's 6 million.
Okay.
But you can choose not to do that and spread misinformation. And then all your followers on Instagram, if you read the comments, like, these people take this information. That guy two questions ago, like, you see, like, you can form the political beliefs of some of these people. This has real world consequences that you just seem not to care about.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, you said that it's a widely documented event and it happened, whatever. I'm not denying that it occurred, but what I will say is this, because I don't believe the official narrative. Israel just got done doing a genocide. We witnessed for 2 years bombing all over Gaza, tens of thousands of people being killed, children, innocent people, etc. Every human rights organization has come out and said that it's a genocide officially, right? According to the definition. What do all the Zionists do? What do all these Jews come out and say? Oh, it wasn't a genocide. It wasn't a genocide. Well, we have 4K evidence that it was a genocide. We literally saw the kids getting blown up, but they deny it. So my thing is this. If they can openly deny a genocide that we all witnessed in 4K, what makes you think they won't lie about an event that occurred back in the 1940s with limited video footage, with limited evidence, right? Besides paper evidence that they said that they found after the war, by the way. And then the other thing you also need to understand is that the Holocaust is a very lucrative business model as well as a victimhood magnet. It allows them to monetize through museums, through tours, through books, through movies. It allows them to have a perpetual victim narrative, a perpetual victim status. So anytime someone questions them or criticizes them, they say, oh, Holocaust. And they go ahead and say, I'm a Jew, I'm being persecuted. The reality is that if you're gonna go ahead and deny a genocide, and we just witnessed that in 4K, won't won't you lie about with other things, especially when the Holocaust is a pivotal part of your identity from which you draw so many benefits?
What I would say that's important in all of this is finding credible documentation, and that's exactly what they have for the Holocaust. They have the Nazi Germany's own records of the war that were kept in U.S. archives after the war, and like these are credible documents. That's what history is, looking at credible documents. Then when you look at Gaza, a lot of the information that's coming out is not credible. When you look at a lot of
wow, that's crazy.
It's true. When you look at a lot of the reports from like there's UN agencies.
Let me say this.
Can I finish real quick?
If you can, and that's fine. If you could go ahead and deny the Gaza genocide, well, I'm going to deny the 6 million figure, and we can both go ahead and have our
But
disagreements.
I'm saying there's real reason to deny the Gaza genocide, and it's much more popular.
Are you Jewish?
I am Jewish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, okay, that's an ad hominem. Like,
no, it makes sense.
Have
like,
a real
I mean,
argument there.
You're coming here pushing the Hasbara.
What I'm saying is that there's information coming out of Gaza that's biased and propaganda for Hamas, and you can choose to believe that, but there's real unbiased evidence for the Holocaust that
other organization has confirmed that there's been tens of thousands of innocent people that have died in Gaza. So it's not just Hamas.
To deny, and that forms
these
the political
organizations
beliefs
that
of people,
identify
and
as
this
a genocide
actually
are not
matters.
Hamas.
Anti-Semitism is on the rise in the U.S., and you play a part in that.
Okay.
And you seem not to care.
Here's the thing. Anti-Semitism...
Well, yeah, it's on the rise because, yeah, there's lots of propaganda going on with that, and also just because of what's going on in Gaza, honestly. That's the reason why it's on the rise. That's the number one reason, you know, so...
Is on the rise because of bad Jewish behavior. That's not me. I'm not the one that decided to carpet bomb a bunch of innocent people and say it's self-defense. I'm just reporting the facts, and then how people respond to that it is what it is. And the thing is that, see, you guys don't want to take accountability for conducting a genocide, and I find it also interesting how you're saying, oh, well, this is all Hamas propaganda. Dude, we're talking about Human Rights Watch, B'Tselem, which is an Israeli organization. They're even labeling it a genocide. Many Israeli scholars, many Jewish scholars have come out and called it a genocide.
There's also Muslim scholars that are saying that's not a genocide. Like, that goes both ways.
Like who?
I don't know off the top of my head.
So, yeah, like, dude, and the other thing is we have genocide experts that are coming out and saying that this is a genocide. So my thing is this.
Can I say something in response to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said there are institutions saying this, but the UN institution that called this a genocide, the UN's report that they get information on the genocide about, the 3 leaders of that have long anti-Semitic histories. There is bias in the media, and there is propaganda against Jews in all of this. Like,
okay, you guys call everyone an anti-Semite, so I don't even take that seriously.
No, I'm not calling everyone anti-Semitic.
Because you said they have anti-Semitic histories. Translation, we call out bad Jewish behavior. Like, the thing is, like, Jews don't like being called out on their bullshit. They just don't, because then you guys want to call it anti-Semitism. Look, I call out every group. I talk about blacks. I talk about Muslims. They do dumb shit. I talk about every group of people. White people, white women, everybody. And my thing is, like, there's just this one group that will cancel you, shut it down, call you an anti-Semite, try to ruin your career, etc. When you say things that are true, right? You guys literally just got done doing a genocide. You guys are doing a whole bunch of wars across the Middle East. And then a genocide that the Holocaust, which you're talking about, to kill 6 million people in that period of time in the way that you guys allege that you killed them just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. There weren't enough ovens for the cookies,
when you
bro.
reference,
there weren't enough ovens for the cookies, man.
Thing.
Like, there just weren't.
You say that, but you can look at the actual documentation. Only 2.7 million people died in that
from the
way.
Nuremberg trials, which were a fucking witch hunt.
There's
from like the documents that the Allies found. From the documents that the Allies found, where they were like, "Oh yeah, these are meticulous Nazi records," and we know that the Russians were there first, and they had their issues, and they forged some of the stuff.
Lying.
It's not that. I'm just saying it just doesn't make sense that it would be conducted in the manner that they allege it was conducted and with the figures that they allege were done. I'm not denying that it happened. I'm saying that I'm questioning the numbers and some of the facts and circumstances behind how it happened. That's a big difference.
See, all right, I don't want to take too much more time, but you can question. Oh, sorry.
And the reason why you guys have been able to use this fable for so long is because questioning the Holocaust or questioning Jewish power or world Jewry has always been a frowned upon topic and can get your career destroyed. So you guys have been able to enjoy no one being able to criticize you about it until we witnessed the genocide that occurred that started in 2023. Now we can criticize Jewish power.
My last statement is that you can question it, but when you put online that your questions are your firm beliefs, your followers take that and make that their actual beliefs, and it's no longer questioning. That's their real sentiment, and it's rising in the U.S. and it has real effects.
Again, anti-Semitism is a byproduct of bad Jewish behavior. Simple as that. You guys can't kill people and not think the world's gonna wake up and say what's going on
Israel
here.
does not represent all Jews.
Well, of course, that is true. There's a bunch of Jews that have spoken out on this thing, but a lot of the most Jews are Zionists, though. The overwhelming majority of them are Zionists. Guys, look.
Cool. All right, guys. We'll continue reacting to it at a later time. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with Myron saying about the Gaza-Israel situation? Renee Good, that the officer was in the right for what he did, you know? Or Myron talks about relationship dynamics, about having your money right, a certain amount of women you gotta have sex with, you know? Yeah, just let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys later.